Thanks to the support as a channel member, Brad Moran. Possibly the most important thing that will happen all season has happened. We've got rid of Rob Harley's minimum fee release clause. And to celebrate, I'm dropping him because I don't know that we're getting the best out of him, and I don't know that he's getting the best out of us. It's not a perfect match yet, which is a ridiculous thing to say when you look at the league table, because we're actually doing very well. We're third in the league. We've got a game in hand on Leeds, who are ahead of us and only 1 point behind. So win our game in hand, we're in the automatic promotion spots to the Premier League. But that being said, we're not being dominant. I mean, yeah, there's a few matches we've won quite comfortably, beating Luton 3-0. Luton are rock bottom of the league. But you look at the rest of the matches we've played recently, 3 draws, 2 of which we didn't score a goal in, a narrow victory over Portsmouth, a narrow victory over Sheffield Wednesday, and then we're back to last episode where we lost those 2 matches. So to me, it feels like a false league position. This doesn't look like the form of a team who were in an automatic promotion race. And if we then look at the man himself, Rob Harley, his goal return this season isn't what I expect from a starting centre forward in one of my systems. 5 goals in 12 matches, only an average rating of 6.83. I don't know that he's a striker. I think his best matches for us have been when he's played out wide. But he's 18 years old. We're gonna rotate him out, at least for today. Let him try and have an impact from the bench. And like I say, the important thing long term is that we've got him on a new contract. We've removed the release clause. So fingers crossed, we're not going to be selling him anytime soon. So we've got time to figure out how to use him. But we signed Arnu back in the summer, who looks, on the face of it, looks much more like a prototype Kev striker. He's 6'2". He's got decent physicals. I wish he was stronger, but he's got decent jumping reach. He's decently quick. He's got everything else that I'm looking for from a striker. We're paying him £25,000 a week, and we've not started him in a football match yet. So, and he had, like you can see from his career previously, he is a proven goal scorer in second tiers around Europe. Second tier in Spain. Monaco 2 play in the second tier in France? Probably not. But he's had a couple of years playing in the second tier in Spain, scoring a decently consistent number of goals. So we're going to give him an opportunity and hope that maybe he does a football goal. And if he ends up being the answer up front, then I guess we look to accommodate Harley in one of the wider areas. I think the biggest problem I've got is, and again, it sounds mental, we're 12 games into the season, we're in a promotion race. I don't really know what my best team is. I think we're settled on this as a back 4. I think we're settled on that as a midfield 3. I don't really know what we're doing with the front 3, though. I don't know where Harley fits in. I don't know who our best striker is. I've got the comments telling me this guy isn't any good on the wing, which I strongly disagree with. I think he's very good. The reason he's showing us half a star is because when we're out of possession, we drop back to a flat 4 in midfield, and he theoretically can't play on the right of midfield. But actually, as a right winger, he is a very good player. It's just, I think this is just FM26 things, not really representing it properly. But I don't know. I don't know who our best team is. We've got this guy who we were so excited about when he came in, who's not in that best midfield. I'm still trying to work out what we're doing. We spent all that money on him, and we're not using him either. It'll be fine. We're going to win this football match. Who are we even playing? I haven't even looked at who we're playing. We're away against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough are down in 9th in the league. Based on the form that we're in, I'm expecting a 0-0 draw. That's the kind of thing we do in these kind of matches. But maybe changing things up with a centre forward will change things up in reality for us. Oh, now, one thing that is tempting to try, and I need your thoughts on whether or not we're going to allow this or not. If you've been watching my streams lately, and you should be watching my streams over on LOLLUJO 2, over on Twitch, we're having a lovely time, but we've been developing a new corner routine because it's clear that the one we've been using doesn't work. So I'm going to load up the one that we've been putting together on stream, specifically this one. In fact, do we have a set of all of the routines? Where we're basically trying some different things because, there you go, Kev is a set piece genius, replacing meaty corners. Because meaty corners, I think, are probably no longer working. So this is what we're doing. And I'll talk you through what we're doing so you can see what we're doing. We're basically completely loading that near post with our tall boys when we're doing a near post corner, and believe it or not, when we do a far post corner, completely loading the far post with tall boys. The previous one we were doing was very much based on how you rascaled your way around in FM24. It was an FM24 corner routine that did work on 26 for a long while. The idea being you split your tall boys, so you have some at the near post, but then you put some at the far post. And by putting some at the far post as well, it draws some of the big defenders away, creating more space for the ones who are standing where the ball's actually coming. That doesn't seem to be a way to fool the AI defense anymore. So we're going old school. We're going to what, to me, makes the most sense, as this is what you'd actually do. So we've got Bindon, we've got Roivers, stick them both on the near post, deliver the ball to the near post. So hopefully we'll do some corners. If we don't, then we'll see. But let me know down in the comments, how do you feel about, in non-league to legend, me bringing in a corner routine that wasn't 100% my work? If you watch my streams, you'll know a huge amount of credit goes to Oisty FM, who basically told me what to do, and we've not tweaked it a huge amount. But we have experimented with lots of different ones. It wasn't like I just downloaded his corner tactic and it's like, yay, corners. We've spent 2 streams. There's like 6 hours of stream content on LOLLUJO Live over the last week or so of me messing around with corners. And that's where we ended up. It just so happens to be that's the variant that does seem to be working, at least with my Bedford team on Earth 2. But does that mean we're not allowed to include it in non-league to legend because of our rules about bringing in outside knowledge? Because if it does mean that, I'm willing to have that as a conversation. But yeah, I hopefully this is going to be a little bit more effective, because we signed Bindon to score all those goals and he's not scoring goals, and we need goals. So if we can get Bindon scoring even 5 or 6 headers from corners a season, which is nowhere near what he's done so far. Obviously, we had that really important one in the playoff semi-final last year. I mean, I say it's important. We didn't end up going to Wembley, but he did score. I think that's the only time he scored a header in a video. And at the size of him, we want a little bit more out of him than that. And ultimately, I am, by bringing in that little bit of knowledge from the stream save, I am protecting myself from using the real bit of knowledge I want to use in the stream save, which of course is going to Boston in non-league and signing McElligott, my 6'6" goal a game striker that we've got in that Bedford team now. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just pretending he doesn't exist in this universe. If he doesn't come up on a scout report, we don't sign him. So I think I'm showing great restraint there. Let me have a corner to make me feel better is the general gist of what I'm suggesting. But as ever, your thoughts very welcome down in the comments section, unless you disagree with me. That's the way it's always worked here. Right, Mr. Tickle, doing what Mr. Tickle does. It's become a Saturday afternoon routine, by the way. On Saturday afternoons, my Twitter is just full of people tagging me in whatever save compilation highlights Mr. Tickle has done in real life that day. He is as good in real life as he is in game, it seems. And we've done a football goal. I mean, it's not exactly a nod to huge tactical changes. It wasn't from a corner and it wasn't from changing the striker. Although I guess Arnu's involved in it. It's an own goal from a shot from our left back. But a goal is a goal. And you saw the fixtures that we've played so far this season. These away games, certainly away games against teams in the top half of the table, I don't think we've won one yet. So we'll take any means necessary to figure out a way to grind out results in matches like this, because as we've seen from the league table, it looks like nobody really wants to get promoted this year because our form has been very mixed, very inconsistent, and we're still in 3rd place. So if we can find a way to win 4 or 5 matches in a row, we're going to be well clear at the top of the league and having a lovely old time. There you go. This would put us up to 2nd place behind QPR, 3 points behind them. It's a strange championship this season, I think, because not only is there no team that really looks like they want to go on and win it, none of the teams you would expect to be near the top of it are near the top of it either. It's not, I mean, I know we're like 6 seasons into the future now, but there's not loads of relegated Premier League teams in there. We've got Leeds and Bournemouth, I guess, but Wolves are down the bottom half of the table. There's not obvious big teams in there that you would expect to go on and win it. I guess Leeds and Wolves are the ones you'd back, but Wolves don't seem to be delivering. Leeds have already beaten us. Have we played Wolves yet? I'm not sure if we've played Wolves yet. But yeah, we've got an opportunity here. We've had one shot on target in the entire match. If we grind out a 1-0 here with not a single player playing well, that feels like a promotion season. Right, Susic is coming off. We are going to bring on... See, we've got the two youngsters and the guy we spent a load of money on. I think we bring on Jude McRobbie on the right-hand side because Arnu is not having a good game. So, in fact, you know what? I'm going to bring Sturton on up front and we're going to put Harley on the left and we're going to play him as an inside forward. And we're going to see how this works. Sturton, obviously, can be the target man that he loves to be. And here's me talking about us struggling for goals, forgetting that our third choice striker is the guy who displaced the championship top scorer halfway through last season and went on to pretty much score a goal a game for the rest of the season, but then picked up an awkward injury in pre-season, lost his spot to Rob Harley. Arnu came in as well, and I've kind of forgotten that Sturton exists, as I often do. But here is Jude McRobbie, the other exciting youngster. Jude McRobbie, lovely stuff from McRobbie. I think it ended up with Harley as well. I would love a future where Jude McRobbie and Rob Harley, as Name in the Game channel members, as boys who've come through our own youth setup, I'd love them to be a key part of this team. I'm obviously going to push them a little bit harder than, as much as I love him, Owen Sturton, because he's not our boy. Right, Angulo is going to come on as well. And then for my final trick, I do need to get Englet on, but we've already, I mean... There's not really anywhere to put him, is there? If anything, our bench is too strong. Let's get Valmy on, because that's another thing I've seen from the comments. It was one of my favourite comments I've seen over the last few days. Last year, I spent all season ignoring my best defender, Bindon. I finally realised that he's quite good and got him in the team, so now I'm ignoring my best defender again in Valmy. To be fair, Bindon and Roivers are both very, very good. So Valmy's got to force his way in. Bindon took a little while to settle last year, but I think we're doing all right. That is a very weird result because we didn't play well. Look at the match momentum. Yikes. Look at the match stats. We have not played well at all. That new corner routine, didn't see a corner. Did you see a corner? So that hasn't made any difference at all. So maybe it only works for my Bedford team because we've got a 6'6" striker. Yeah. And it feels really weird because it feels like it's not really working. And then you look at the league table and you're like, I mean, what would that look like if it was working? What a strange season this has been so far. Right, we are playing against Plymouth. So where are Plymouth? We may as well just show you the Plymouth match. You know what? We're going to show you the Plymouth match. I want to win a football match. Right, Arnu did nothing in the previous match, so we're bringing Rob Harley back in. And we'll see if we can get a performance out of him. I guess as an 18-year-old playing in the first team for the first time, playing at championship level for the first time, scoring a goal every other game, which is roughly what he's averaging, is not too bad at all. The problem is he is our only striker and no one else is really scoring goals either. So if we were getting loads of goals from the wide areas, or, I mean, Hall's not doing too badly coming out of midfield. He scored a couple of goals a couple of matches ago. I don't know. Maybe we're going to have to go to a two-striker system to accommodate Harley, because what he really wants to be is like a deep line forward, false nine kind of striker, like a second striker. I don't ever imagine myself playing a false nine up front on their own. It's just not how I like to play football. So I think if we're going to play him as that more deep-lying striker, he needs to be a second striker. So maybe we go with him and Arnu, but that's then going to have an impact further back in the team, whether that means weakening the midfield by taking a guy out of there or possibly abandoning wingers. And I mean, we haven't gone to one of my old faithfuls, the Diamond, yet on FM26. Maybe it's time to pull out the Diamond. We've got some decent attacking wing backs. We've got solid midfielders. I mean, Hall would be perfect playing as the playing in the number 10 role, and we can then bring what's his face, the youngster on. What's his name? Is he even on the bench today? the midfielder I was excited about that I mentioned before, it doesn't look like he's even on the bench. Who picks this bench? But he could come into the midfield and we could push Hall further forward. And that might even work. But then we've got so many wingers. Not just Susic and Messam who are in on loan, but we've obviously got Englert, who we spent all that money on. We've got Jude McRobbie that we were talking about before. We've got Mama sat down there on the bench as well. So we don't... Hall trying to make the case for him playing as the number 10 for us with an effort from the edge of the area that's pushed around the post by Spikel bricks. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see a corner off the back of it. So these set piece routines aren't really doing very much for us yet, are they? It's 0-0 again. This is what so many of our matches are like at the moment. We're just a bit, we're the Arsenal of the Championship. We're up the top of the table, but we never actually look like scoring. And we get rescued by own goals and set pieces every now and again. And it's difficult to complain too hard about it because you're up there fighting for promotion. But I can see we're not playing well, and I'm sure you can see we're not playing well as well. Over these last couple of matches, it's clear we're not playing well. But we're probably still going to win this match. Right, Rob Harley's coming off. He's another poor game from him. We'll bring on Englert this time. He can come on. And in fact, we're going to change the whole front three again. Mama's going to come on as well, and we'll play those two on their correct sides. And once again, we completely change the front three, as we do in most matches, as I'm just trying to find the combination that's going to work up there. Right, Kante plays it forward for Arnu. He lays it off nicely to Pacheco. Mama on the right-hand side, who's never really had a run as the starter for us. Maybe this will be his time. Shaha with the deep cross, and Englert with the looping header that ends up on the top of the goal. I mean, it's the closest we've come to scoring in the entire match. We've supposedly had 5 shots on target. I don't remember them. Plymouth haven't had one yet, so it is shaping up for them to grab a late winner because I've played Football Manager before. But we would very much like to be the ones who grab the late winner and not just have another weird nothing match, of which there have been so many already this season. That's a good defensive block there. Hall heads it clear, and we've got the chance for a counter-attack here. Arnu gives it to Mama, who took a little bit too long to get it under control and then gave the ball away. So much for him getting a run starting on the right-hand side. Jude McRobbie back on the bench for the next game, it seems. We've got too many attacking options, and none of them are very good. Again, we're the Arsenal of the Championship. But we've got Plymouth coming at us again, and it does feel like there's a goal for them coming, and it's probably here. Oh, Mr. Tickle, what a save. Hall heads clear again, and Arnu, once again, the focal point of a potential counter-attack, but then Pacheco slows it all down. Is playing him in there as a playmaker slowing us down in general? We've got a whole bunch of players who would really suit quick counter-attacking football, but then we've got a playmaker in there that every time he gets a touch, he slows everything down. Right, Miley's going to come on in midfield. We have still got Sturton down on the bench. Why is Arnu playing as a deep lying forward? I didn't tell him to do that, but we're going to bring Sturton on. Was Harley playing as that? I don't remember. Have I given him a personalised instruction, a personalised role, and then forgotten about it? Because nobody should be playing as a deep lying forward. I don't know how that's happened. But Sturton is now on up front. Did Arnu get 10 minutes? I've got so distracted by talking about how rubbish we've been. I thought this was the match we started Arnu. It wasn't, was it? We started Harley. We brought Arnu on 70 minutes and took him off again on 80. If Arnu doesn't ask for a transfer off the back of that, I would like to publicly apologise to Arnu and Sturton, to be fair, because Sturton should have been first off the bench. But that was silly. That's what happens sometimes, boys and girls, when you're focusing too much on talking to you lot and not completely focused on the football match that's going on in front of you. I take a small amount of the responsibility for what's just happened, and here's Plymouth's winner. I hate this game. I love it, but I do hate it because stuff like that, you can see it coming a mile off. And I mean, there's no point in trying to do anything about it because nothing's going to happen. Yeah, all right. Do your little highlight. I actually want to go very attacking. This is where it'd be handy to still have Arnu on the pitch. There's still so very... Oh, good save for Mr. Tickle. There's still so very much work to do. Yet there we are still right up towards the top of the table. It's a very confusing situation that we're in. Yeah, Arnu finding it tough. Goalless Sturton ruins Wigan. At least the in-game media is seeing the same things I'm seeing. That we don't have a striker who's playing well currently. And that's a problem. Imagine how good we'd be if we did. Imagine if Bonnell was still here being the Championship's top scorer. I need to figure out what my best team is before the next episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.